Well, good morning, y'all, out there in the interwebs. 6:30 in the morning. Somebody recently asked me why I get so excited and I get so upset and so wound up over the mask and the virus. And a lot of people, they're just fine. And I know you said it's not good for you, and I was trying to explain, right, without getting upset, just how passionate I am about this and why. So I'm going to try to do it in this video, cool and calmly. And so when people ask me, I'm going to say, go look. First, let me start with, sorry, I got to reach my little thing that's up here. Oh, it's part of my daily routine, but this is my asthma medicine. This is my asthma medicine. Okay. Can you do that? I can do that without even trying. So anyway, that's not even half of it. Here's the gist of it when it comes to my lungs and the virus. The virus attacks lung tissue. Even on healthy people, they get scar tissue on their lungs and they have effects months and months and maybe years, we don't know yet, right? But look it up for yourself. The effects on your lungs last for a very long time, even if you don't die. So now the numbers go even higher when it comes to me, right? And I'm still not to the punchline of this yet. Here's where my passion comes from. When I was in the hospital the second time, I had a better doctor. I had one dynamite doctor, and then I had this specialist come in. Because this was in Burlingame, a rich city, right? Where I went to the hospital for my lung collapse. It was where rich people go. It was no ghetto hospital because I could. I had insurance, right? I'm a union sheep, not a worker motherfucker. I'll go to whatever hospital I want to. So anyway, while I got a fucking tube in my fucking rib, right? Yeah, this side. I forget, man. Anyway, I got a tube hanging out of my chest, and they're trying to keep my lung inflated. See, the thing is, when your lung collapses, your chest cavity fills with air, and you need your lung to fully inflate, but that air is stopping it, so they keep the tube in to let the air that's escaping out of your lung into your chest cavity. It needs a way to escape. It's got to get out, otherwise your lung gets pushed from all the pressure leaking out of your fucking lung that you're sucking in here, and it's not coming out. It's got to come out. If it ain't coming out of here, it's got to come out of the tube. Sorry. I get a little passionate, right? Touchy subject for me, because it happened twice. And so, while I'm conversating, and they're explaining to me the procedure that I'm about to go through while this tube's sticking out of me, because this is the second time. Can you keep up? They said, well, we could have done this the first time, but we didn't think this was going to happen again. But now that it happened a second time, it could happen, we don't know how many times. And I said, what? What do you mean? Sorry. I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, whatever damaged your lungs, we don't know how many spots of damage you have, so we have no way to know. So this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to scratch the inside of your chest, then we're going to scratch up the outside of your lung, and the two will fuse together. So the next time one of these blisters pops, it won't, and you won't die, right? Because if your lung collapses, you can't get to the hospital in whatever amount of hours, you're going to fucking die. And I didn't realize how serious that was, but it is, right? So, once again, with the pandemic, lung damage, you see where I'm going with this? I'm not done yet. So, this one's collapsed twice due to these blisters, right? This one hasn't collapsed yet. This one hasn't popped bad enough, because they said it could have little pops and you don't even know it, and then it'll close itself. But if the tear is big enough, it won't close. You got to come in. We're going to poke a hole, and we're going to fix you on this side the same way we did on this side. So this time bomb waiting to go off. Virus, lung damage. Still ain't to the punchline yet. Can you stomach all of this? We still ain't to the fucking punchline yet. What I'm going to do for you, I'm going to link a video below. There's a gentleman with a soldering iron and a stick of solder, and he's soldering on a piece of gutter, right? You'll see him. And when he's doing that, he gets this little brush, and he wipes it on the gutter, and the gutter turns dark, black, gray, right? You can see it. If you pause and look closely, when he wipes that stuff on there, it etches the metal. What it does is it eats at the galvanizing surface so that the solder will adhere, because the galvanizing has a slick surface. Solder won't stick to that slick surface. You got to etch that off of there, and then the solder will stick. So that cut acid that they put on the gutter to get the solder to stick, it's muriatic acid. You're supposed to thin that shit out. We never thinned anything. We got a jug from the fucking shop. It was pure acid. We put it in a little itty bitty fucking baby food jar. I can't tell you how many times I had that shit on my hands. I could taste it in my fucking mouth by the time I got done soldering gutter. But that's not the worst of it, right? So you'd slop that shit on. That guy did it nice and neat. And when you solder gutter up on a roof, you got gutter that has a vertical solder joint and then a solder across the bottom and a solder up the back, right? You got 3 sides to solder. And every time you wipe that acid, it pulls at the bottom. And so it pulls up. And then by the time you get down here to solder, there's a whole puddle of that shit. When you're doing it, your head's down there seeing what you're doing. And no mask. I didn't wear a mask back then. I was a fucking kid. They didn't offer you a mask? Fuck, you ask the boss for a respirator, he's going to tell you to go to the unemployment office. Trust me, go ask some old timers. So when I had the tube hanging out of my chest, talking to the doctor, and we were trying to figure out where these blisters came from, he said, well, tell me about your life. Tell me about what you've done, both good, bad, everything. He goes, let's figure this out. He goes, but you got to be honest if we're going to figure this out. So I said, dude, I smoke cool cigarettes. I worked in an auto body shop, sanded cars, this and that. And he says, look, all of those things, he said, will give you cancer. That particle matter lands in your lungs. Your lungs can't cleanse itself, right? It won't go away. So then cancer starts to grow around these foreign objects, right? Your body tries to get rid of it, turns cancerous. He says, so smoking and the dust in the body shop, he goes, that shit'll give you cancer. He said, when you're painting the car, you got your respirator on, so you're not getting the paint fumes. So those aren't the fumes that fucked your lungs. He said, those acid fumes from soldering the gutter is what did it to you. It wasn't the cigarettes. It wasn't. He said, that is your culprit. He goes, I can't prove that. He goes, I'll put on paper that what happened to you is work-related. He goes, that I can say without a doubt. This was not done by you or recreation or Mother Nature. The blisters on your lungs came from those acid fumes. He goes, I just can't prove it, so I can't put that on paper for you, but I can say it's work-related. Okay, so my career's over. Along with a spinal fusion and 3 knee surgeries, carpal tunnel and arthritis, like you see 10, 15-pound dumbbells. You don't see me hitting 50s. Shit. Anyway. It's my sad truth. that I live with every day. The condition, the true condition of my lungs is that bad. I hope you understand now. So now when people ask me why I get so upset about the virus, I'm just going to say, please go watch this video. Right? It explains it very clearly. In the link below, you'll see the guy solder the gutter. You're not getting an accurate picture. I couldn't find anybody soldering the inside of a gutter from up on a roof with your head down there where you're really seeing the fumes come into their face the way I did. What he was doing was very clean. That's not what I did. Any old timer will tell you what I'm saying. And shop guys soldering a bunch of shit in the shop, making fittings and stuff for commercial work. Same thing. Same thing. At a bench all day long soldering shit. They weren't wearing respirators. Get this. When my lung collapsed the first time, look this up. You want to talk about something rare? I had some shit called crackle something. I forget what they call it, but get this. I had air inside my skin. They pushed on my skin on my neck right here, and it crackled like squishing bubble wrap. My neck was like bubble wrap. Look that shit up. Crackles. Something to do with a collapsed lung and crackles. Just saying. Johnny had that going on the first time it collapsed. So, high risk. Sacto Steve, I'm sending this to you, brother. You and I, we need to talk. Okay? Anyway, love you guys. Please do me a favor. Please share this video. Educate a couple people. Maybe we'll get through this one day. Thank you. Much love and respect as always. We'll talk soon. Peace.